Hi, I'm Lee Haight. Thank you for attending this webinar. We're going to be teaching you how to recover from Hurricane Irma without missing out on hidden damages, losing your claim to your insurance company, or hiring the wrong contractor. This is Mike Banya. Mike, how long you been a public adjuster?
13 years, Lee.
And if you're not sure what a public adjuster is a licensed and backed by the state person who is only supposed to review policy and negotiate insurance claims. I am a disaster consultant and owner of a restoration company. Combined, we are a one-stop solution to help you recover from Hurricane Irma. Welcome to this webinar. If you failed at recovering from a hurricane in the past, it's not your fault. If you've been concerned in the past that you can't succeed up against your insurance company or finding a contractor, put those fears to rest. The insurance companies, the state of Florida, and other unqualified contractors want you to think you can't discover hidden damages. You can't overcome underpaid insurance claims, and you're not going to be able to find a legitimate contractor available to do the work for the insurance claim. If you've ever thought the insurance company wants you to fail, you're probably right. So we're here to show you how to win fair claim settlement and get your property restored during this webinar. My goal from this web class is I want to help the people who want to discover hidden damages. Mike, what's the biggest problem that people have?
People are always concerned that they don't have the damages. They can't see the damages because they don't understand the building components. They're not experts in the building. They don't understand the forensics behind it, what happens during that event, and they don't do a full case study.
How do you find hidden damages?
You have to do a full case study. You pull up the weather data. You see what the building was originally designed for, how the components in the building were originally designed, what they're capable to withstand, what happens, how long the scenario happened, specifically in a hurricane, what that roof covering was manufactured to withstand, what the windows were, what the DP ratings were, and just do a whole study and a whole case study of every component of that building.
Wow, that sounds very forensic, very detailed. How long have you been doing those?
I've been doing it for 13 years. I really got into the commercial stuff though, probably about 10 years ago. Complex claims where people need help, where it's a tremendous pressure amongst the unit owners for assessments, special assessments, facing these large catastrophes and financial constraints.
I just wanted you to know that missing out on hidden damages is the biggest thing. That's what we have to cover first, is because you may be watching this webinar and really not even aware of a major problem worth millions of dollars or thousands of dollars on your property. Now, the second group of people we're looking to help is people who have been denied or underpaid by their insurance claim. And Mike, explain to them how you can help with that.
If you are underpaid with your insurance claim, the first step is to get somebody out there, get the forensic investigation, get the experts, the same experts that the insurance carriers utilize and basically hide behind sometimes on these issues. Get the same grouping of your own out there, do a full assessment, send that off to the insurance company. A lot of times try to change their mind, but that just doesn't always happen that way. So then you have alternative dispute resolution processes, which may be a mediation, or the appraisal process, which is a form of binding arbitration, and it's a fast, less costly way to recover and to enforce payment upon them.
Okay, so we don't want to bore you too much with the hard details, but we want to give you actionable data that helps you recover from a hurricane. And part of that actionable data is hiring a reputable contractor. Now, my name's Lee Haight. I'm going to give you a personal introduction, but my family's been a hurricane restoration contractor since 1993. See, I'm a second generation contractor and I understand the problems that hurricanes cause, and we have the largest network of qualified restoration professionals to provide support across the state of Florida. We are currently producing about 25 residential roofs a day and anywhere from 3 to 5 commercial roofs under. So we actually have the crews, the manpower, the management, and systems and support to deliver new jobs for the amount, usually an agreed price that we can get with your insurance company. So mainly we're here to help people that need to get fair settlement, that need to find a good contractor, that need a good price on the single biggest item, which is the roof, and without having you to lose your claim to your insurance company, without assigning your benefits to the wrong contractor. So the only way for you to discover hidden damages is to have one of us take a look at your property. Me, Mike, a guy like us is going to be the only way that you're going to be able to overcome an underpaid or denied insurance claim. Now, there's lots of reputable contractors to choose from, but the problem is after a hurricane that affects the entire state, everybody is months and years out. See, as an experienced disaster contractor, we have a large network of restoration professionals. We have an infrastructure to actually be able to deliver in a time of need, and combined, we have a one-stop solution. So the only way to get through this process is through a combination of experts like myself and Mike. So who am I? My name's Lee Haight. I am the co-owner of RRCA, Roofing and Reconstruction Contractors of America. My father started the company in 1993. We moved into Florida in 2013. We are a top 25 insurance restoration contractor. I am a leading disaster consultant and social media influencer in the insurance restoration space. Mike?
I'm Mike Bennett. I'm a licensed public insurance adjuster here in the state of Florida, amongst other states. I'm born and raised here in Florida. My mother worked for the insurance companies as a child. She was an insurance agent, then became a professor to get actually insurance agents, which is a form of underwriting, licensed and educated in that. I did go to work for the insurance industry. 2005, I switched up around 2006 or 7 once I saw what they were doing to some of the consumers. I've been doing that nationally, but I'm based out of Florida.
Where do you live?
I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, born and raised. I've been working a total, I believe, of 7 hurricanes since 2005, even ones prior to that because the statute of limitations had not run out at that time. And I'm also a South Florida licensed appraisal expert. I've done appraisal hearings throughout the whole country, multiple states, but I've been doing this, the appraisal process, which is that form of binding arbitration, I've been doing that here for over 10 years. And me saying that is that I have a reputation through that process with the other side and also with some of the arbitrators and stuff, that they know me as a reputable person that doesn't overstep. And what I say in my presentation, it holds ground a lot of times with these individuals.
Great. I'm going to get a little bit more detailed into why I'm bringing you this webinar. It was last time there was 4 hurricanes that came through. I was a younger man. My father and my uncle were working together replacing 125 roofs a week. And we found that the problems that a natural disaster of this magnitude causes is the insurance companies, they don't even have enough people to do the estimates. They don't have enough people to do the investigations. And we found a method that if we could present our estimate in a way, if we could work together as a team with Group 1 public adjusters, that we could package our deals, that we could document the claim, that we could handle it online, and that we would expedite the claims process. And so my dad, he built a software called Claim Express, and this is our business management system. And if you wonder how we're able to deliver in a time of need like this is part of the reason. It's infrastructure, it's systems, and we have a way for the property owner to log in and manage their claim online. So we're going to show you how you can log in and manage your claim and get a one-stop solution to recover from a hurricane in this webinar. And how does this apply to you? Well, if you're in the state of Florida, you have been affected by this storm. I would say that at least 40% of the roofs all the way up through Central Florida are damaged and need of some kind of repair. The problem is, like Mike said, is that most people don't identify the damage. They don't understand discontinued tile. They don't understand what wind chatter is. They have hidden moisture, potentially even mildew and mold inside of their property. And a lot of times what we're trying to do is just make people understand that there was sustained winds over 100 miles an hour for a very long time. And until you have an expert up on your property, you'll never get the right representation. And the other thing is for residential property owners, it's hard for you to get representation. Attorneys and public adjusters, they focus mainly on commercial, and a lot of times guys like Mike aren't able to help on residential files. But luckily, we have a system in Claim Express that we can deliver. We can take no job too small, no job too big. This message is not just for residential property owners. It's for commercial property owners. It's for homeowners associations. It's for board members. It's for every person that's been affected by the hurricane. And literally, we have some results and proof that we want to share with you. Not only has this worked for me and for Mike, but I want him to tell you a story about Dorchester Apartments, who after 6 short months working with Mike, had this to say.
Went into this property. It was an individual that had owned multiple apartment complexes throughout the state. We met with him. We went over, did a drive-through a lot of his properties. He insisted that he didn't think he had enough damages to reach his deductible. I let him know that I would do a free preliminary investigation, a free preliminary study on his buildings to get an idea, a general idea of what was going on there, and a presentation. He allowed me to do that for him. It did not cost him anything at all. I then was able to, he hired my services, and I was able to do a full forensic investigation, which sometimes takes weeks, sometimes it even takes multiple weeks to months to do it on a loss that size. It was, I believe, 20 buildings. We compiled all of our evidence. We did our photographs, we did thermal imaging, we did uplift tests, we did a full forensic study of the windows and all the components to the building envelope around it. We built the file, and we built all of our files as if we were going in front of a judge and a jury. Although that's not where we want to end up, but we build our files like that so our opponent knows what they're up against in case that's where it heads. We then took that file and we went through the appraisal process, and approximately 3 or 4 months after that, we were able to obtain an award of multi-million-dollar settlement that he was unaware of that existed due to the event.
So you had no idea there was damage, and you found more than 7 figures worth of damage.
Yes, correct. On that magnitude, it was 20 plus buildings. Another objection I hear a lot from these guys that don't know they have damages, it was an older complex, and they say, yeah, you know, the roof, how do we know if it's wind and how do we know if it's not? Well, that's what we do. That's our forensic study, that we can see what happened. And there can be pre-existing issues prior to the event, but we're not here to look at just that. We're looking at, there's a 100-mile-an-hour storm that came through. That 100-mile-an-hour storm, it contributed to something. If your roof is 20 years old and it's only built the last 30, you have 10 years left of that. If a 100-mile-an-hour storm comes through, it's going to attribute to premature roof failure on that 10 years and shorten the lifespan as much as a year or months after that. And that's what we're here to do as a service, and to show that and then to prove that for the property owner, and then fight on behalf of them against their insurance company to present it to them where they can pay.
Wow. So you're watching this webinar. This is a free webinar. We're not here to sell you anything. And if you elect to have us help you, you may be able to recover multi-million dollars in damages that you were unaware of. We're going to cover 3 different secrets in the course of this webinar. The first we've kind of covered a little bit, but we're going to go into detail. How to avoid missing out on hurricane damage to your property, mainly your roof. Secret number 2, how to get fair claim settlement if your insurance claim is denied or underpaid. And secret number 3, making you whole, how to get a reputable contractor to complete your hurricane repair in a timely fashion. Look, secret number 1 right here is about avoiding missing out on hurricane damage. So this is going to be, of course, some owners, property managers, association managers, insurance agents, general contractors, multifamily owners. They think, I don't understand how our RCA and Group 1 public adjusting could help us find hidden damage. Well, let me explain to you how that works. You know, first of all, we're going to walk around the property. You talked about a building envelope. You talked about windows. Walk us through that inspection, what you're looking for, how you do it.
So the forensic inspection begins with the building envelope, and the building envelope is basically the exterior shell of the building. We go back to what is visible damage, which anybody hopefully can tell happened, which is typically where the insurance companies stop. They just look at what tiles are missing, what uplift happened to the flat roof, what shingles are missing. They don't go around the adjacent areas. They don't do a further investigation, and simply because they're not paid for it. They're paid to get on the claim, pay what they see, turn in their file, and they're done with it. We take it to the next level. We do a full forensic. We look at it. We say, okay, this roof system was installed at what date was the building made, what was the building code during that, how old are these components, what is their life expectancy, what attributing factors now has happened because of a traumatic event such as a hurricane coming through, and how are those components, what were they made to withstand? Especially some of these older buildings with the windows and with the roof systems, now our building code is so strict here in South Florida. You know, they're putting on roof systems now that are 140 mile an hour plus, 190 mile an hour plus roof systems. But 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that just wasn't the case. So we need to look at that as a whole and what the storm attributed to, and put that together in a full forensic documentation to the insurance company.
Nice. So what I want to focus on real quick is the roof. And right now I want you to think about it. If you have a flat roof, almost every single flat roof gets negative wind pressure that uplifts the roof, and sometimes the roof sets back down without you being able to see any damages. It's been no longer fully adhered, and potentially there's moisture underneath it. Not only that, there's been all kinds of flying debris that could cause projectile damage to a flat roof. One of the things that we see that's often missed is hidden damage to tile roofs. Now, right now, think about your roof system. If it's over 6 years old and it's a tile roof, you have damage and your roof is discontinued. I hope with all my heart that there's not a contractor out there trying to perform an illegal repair, because let me tell you, you have to have a notice of acceptance in the state of Florida for every single tile roof replacement to pull a permit. And if there's more than 25 tiles damaged and they're using old tiles, they're performing an illegal repair. Your insurance company wants you to perform an illegal repair. You may think, I only have a few tiles damaged, I have a really big roof, it's not that bad, but you're not even considering wind chatter. Wind chatter is when you have that 100-mile-an-hour sustained plus wind and you have that fastener that's getting pulled, that nail that's getting pulled out of the wood, and that tile's just kind of flapping, and what can happen is that back corner can raise up, it can penetrate the underlayment. And sometimes before rainy season, you won't even be able to see all the leaks. But you have sustained damage, you've lost years off your roof, the roof can cause leaks, and let me tell you a story. A personal friend of mine, a mentor, he's a best-selling author. His name's Grant Cardone. He's out of Miami. He had a property just like Mike. He's a very savvy businessman, tough negotiator, and absolute sales professional. And so basically, when I told him that he had millions of dollars in damage to his property that he'd overlooked, that he couldn't imagine how somebody so smart in business could overlook a multi-million-dollar deal. It seemed like too good to be true. It was hail damage to his property. We were able to go out there, document the claim, go through the process, recover full replacement costs. The insurance company hemmed and hawed with us. Initially, they offered 1.3. We took the claim to $1.8 million. We were able to put $1.8 million in added value to his property through our network inside of ClaimExpress.com. So over 90% of tile roofs in the path of Irma have significant wind chatter and are riddled with damage. Almost 100% of the time, insurance companies have only offered partial repairs. Is that true? Have you noticed that?
They always do, because they don't expect, they must have some kind of an algorithm that they don't expect a certain percentage of the claims to come back to them, because they assume that, okay, you have 5 tiles, 6 tiles, it's minimum damage, and it really is. But who's gonna weigh that burden of the financial distress of, should I just patch my roof, and then when I go to sell the property or when I have it fully inspected later on down the road, you are gonna face that component with whoever that transfer takes place with, and you're going to have to credit them at that time. So a lot of times they will just try to pay you for repairs, so that hoping that you don't reopen it and do a full investigation of whether that is acceptable.
Now, if you're a homeowners association and you're looking at future repair costs on your roof, you have to kind of budget for the expensive nature of a tile roof. It's millions of dollars on an association almost every single time. And essentially right now, by not filing a claim, what you're doing is there is underlayment underneath your tile that's going to have to be replaced. Your roof's going to have to be replaced. Your roof's going to have to be repaired. You're incurring tons of unnecessary out-of-pocket expense. If you have hidden damage and you're owed millions of dollars, you're literally going to spend unnecessary out-of-pocket expense in 2 places: the insurance policy that you pay for and in the roof that you're paying for, because your insurance policy covers direct physical damage and most people have it. And so we want you to know that it's important to get an inspection. Also, commercial roofing is the most expensive maintenance item for commercial owners. If your roof's leaking and you have tenants that are complaining, I know you're probably avoiding pulling the hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your pocket that represent losing profits over years. But listen, if you let us do a free inspection, we may have identified hidden damage, and if that's possible and it costs you nothing, what do you have to lose? Hidden damage to a flat roof can wipe out an owner or association if the hurricane damage forces the roof to be replaced in the next few years. We want to hope that doesn't happen to you. You might also be thinking, I don't understand how our RCA and Group 1 public adjusters will overcome an insurance claim denial, will identify hidden damages, will help me with my underpaid insurance claim. I don't understand how this will cost me tons of money if I don't take action, or why I can't win it on my own without Group 1 in our RCA. And what do you have to say about that, Mike?
I see a lot of people try to take this thing on, and it's a full-time job, and it's the only thing that I do. It's the only thing that he does. It's what we're experts at, and I see a lot of people that they try to do the claim presentation. Sometimes most of the time it's done incorrectly, and the insurance company typically is what I always refer back to, puts up their wall, and you need an expert to break down that wall. A lot of the times what I see out there is the insurance companies will send in an engineer or another expert where they'll come out and they'll say that they're third party, but a lot of times I truly believe they're biased, and they'll come out there and they'll write up a professional expert report, and then the insurance company is able to actually hide behind that report. So when something like that happens, you need the same set of experts that the insurance company is using against you. You need to have a fair playing field against them, and have experts on your side with the correct credentials and presentation.
So you can level the playing field right now by applying for a free inspection. This is a free webinar, and I'm not going to sell you anything. We're offering a free service. And so if you have heard enough, and if you're curious about hidden damages, go ahead and click the link below. Right now, fill out the form. We'll have somebody contact you within 24 hours. We're going to continue to the next phase. But if you are one of the customers out there that's got hidden damages and you want to discover if you have them and you want a free inspection, click the link below right now, and we'll go ahead and take care of that. Secret number one, most wind damage is not visible from the ground, and if missed, it can cost you tons of money in the next few years. We've talked about that. Now let's go to the next point. How to get fair claim settlement if your insurance claim is denied or underpaid. Many people, owners, property managers, association managers, agents, contractors, multifamily owners, agents, realtors think my insurance company was fair to me. They think I'm able to get on my roof and dispute their denial. They think I've got experience dealing with insurance companies or claims. I've been through 1 or 2 hurricanes. Hey, I'm actually a good negotiator. I'm good at fighting my insurance company. And, there's no reason why I need to pay 10% for a licensed public adjuster. So let me share a quick story. There was an association, and this was last year in Ponce Inlet. Hurricane Matthew skirted Daytona Beach, and this poor association had many of 2 buildings really, really dissipated by the storm. And what happened was the insurance carrier went out there without me being on site, without Mike, without an insurance adjuster, and essentially denied the claim. But they didn't just deny the claim. They made an egregious error, and an error that never would have happened if I or Mike would have been there. They gave them the wrong deductible. And they literally said that the deductible was like millions of dollars higher than it really was. It was a clerical mistake, but it meant that they were getting $0 when they had a clear and obvious damage. And these poor old ladies on the board, they didn't know what to do. They didn't know where to turn. And so, of course, we offered a free inspection. We found the damages. We said, look, we don't discuss policy. Public adjusters do. Mike wasn't on that file. It was another public adjuster, but we worked hand in hand. And what happened, of course, next the insurance company comes out, oh, okay, we'll pay for 2 of your roofs. So now after the egregious error, they're going to pay for half of the roofs. And this is even with the public adjuster. And so until we found through an engineer and proved that there was enough damage to the other roofs, we showed the diminished value of mismatching tile and a discontinued tile and the fact that it was an illegal repair. We got through the process and we replaced their roof. And so essentially they were underpaid, denied, and within a year we were able, with a teamwork with the public adjuster, to recover full replacement cost benefits and complete their repair. It was a tile roof, discontinued tile. We went back with a hurricane-proof metal roof, and we're going to be providing her reference at the bottom of the page. So you'll be seeing a little video testimonial at the bottom of this page explaining this experience. Mike, tell us about one of yours that was denied completely by the insurance company.
I have several right now here in the local Naples area where the insurance company came out and they raised causation issues, which is saying pre-existing problems to the roof that are non-storm related. Again, that comes up a lot, but I'm not interested in that. I'm interested to take it to what did the storm attribute, addition to what is that. So a particular association that I can think of off my head, it's 16 buildings. Insurance carrier came out, paid them. It was below deductible. I was able to go out there, do a full inspection of each building, provide a very well documented report to the insurance company. I did invoke the appraisal process. They came out prior to that on a reinspection, and they were in agreement with my estimate. And that probably took about 6 months to complete, because on those larger commercial files, we do have to wait for them to do their full research behind the claims process, and we have to be in cooperation the whole time. In that particular one, I have another one that's here on the coastline where the insurance carrier actually did the same thing that Lee mentioned. They applied the deductible, but they applied the wrong deductible, and it equaled zero payment. And I had to go back and explain to them how their policy was written, that the deductible was applied incorrectly, and those people actually ended up getting a new roof as well.
Okay, so the bottom line is you need to have a professional review your policy. It's best to have an advocate as a policy holder, and commercial claims are paid on average low 700%. It is actually the policyholder's obligation to provide the insurance company proof of loss. Unfortunately, your insurance policy is a contract between you and your insurance company, and the burden of proof falls on you. It's not like in the court of law where you're innocent until proven guilty. No, you have to prove your loss. Most people, they do not ask for more when denied or underpaid. So the insurance companies have an algorithm like Mike talks about where they'll offer you piecemeal repairs and just see if you're armed up to fight them. It's a numbers game played by the toughest negotiators in the world. They have to protect their profit sharing partners. Who's your partner? See, we are your partners. We protect your profit in your property, in your claim. And real importantly, I wanted to get into some details here. There is, of course, you see attorneys advertising all the time. Now, attorneys can be litigation a last effort after you exhaust all resources. You've heard Mike talk about the appraisal process, which sometimes can be a faster and fair and efficient way to come to an agreed price. Tell them the benefits of appraisal, when it's appropriate to go to litigation, appraisal versus litigation.
Litigation in the state of Florida is basically, it's dictated by a lot of case law that was put out there, where the court system was to determine coverage disputes. And when I say coverage disputes, it's when you get a partial denial or a absolute $0 payment on a claim. Particularly on a hurricane claim, you file a claim and they say, oh, it's all pre-existing, it's not caused by the storm, we're going to deny you. You have to overcome that hurdle of allowing the coverage to open the claim and to pay at least $1. That's the first hurdle, and a lot of times that goes back to contractual language, and that's where attorneys a lot of times may need those files to apply. And attorneys are basically educated in, it's a first-party contract, and they're there to determine through the court system how to interpret that language of your first-party insurance policy contract. Now, the appraisal process is specifically reads if there's a disagreement in the amount of value of the claim. So if they paid you $1 and it's $10 million, that is an alternative, and that falls within the appraisal provision of that insurance policy that you are now allowed to do to invoke the appraisal process. And what that does is it actually takes it out of the insurance company's hands. It gives it to somebody that has the authority to pay it in full. They're not set authority figures. A lot of times these guys come out and they only have a dollar amount that they're allowed to go up to before they have to kick it up the road. It takes it out of their hands. They get their appraiser, you get your appraiser. There's a third party involvement, and that third party is able to make a binding decision towards your insurance company, which becomes an appraisal award, which can be filed in a court system as a judgment. So
talk to them about the relationships involved and how you've established over 15 years.
Well, because I've handled so many files here, specifically in South Florida, I've done it nationally, but here in South Florida, a lot of times when you file an insurance claim, you're going to get what's called catastrophe adjusters. And catastrophe adjusters are going to come from all over the country. A lot from Texas, Midwest. They're going to come in. They're not specifically familiar with the building codes down here. They're not familiar with a lot of different things. These guys are coming in and they're on a fee schedule. They get paid per claim to come out. They take on as many claims as they possibly can handle. So there's thousands, tens of thousands of catastrophe adjusters. When those guys leave, there's cleanup from guys like Lee and myself saying, hey, you guys are incorrect. So that cleanup then goes to what I call the disputed claims adjusters or appraisers as well. And it just happens to be that these people, it's a small grouping, and they've been around and they've been doing this mainly as a career for as long as I've known them. And it's a small grouping here, and a lot of times I run into the same people that I've known for 10, 12, 13 years. And the benefit of that is they know me, they know that they know my work product, they know my presentation, they know that I'm not just a guy coming out there trying to throw whatever I can at them and try to overstep. And we're able to respect each other. And what I say is you can either come to an agreement or you can respectfully agree to disagree, and then take your differences to the third party, which would be an umpire. And then that would make your binding decision. And I also am familiar, not with all, but a lot of those groupings where people will respect us because we have the experience and we've had results, and we've done what we said we've done for these people. And it's honorable in that small grouping of disputed claims adjusters.
So Mike has got the best reputation, one of the leading appraisal experts. If you have coverage open on your policy, this is the best way that we advise for you to handle it. We gave you all this technical information, and you may feel like we're literally putting a water hose of information down your mouth. Don't feel bad, okay? But we're trying to let you know we're the experts. You don't have to know all the details. All you have to do is click the link below, and we'll review your case. We'll advise you on exactly how to handle it. If you're underpaid or denied, it's going to be a situation that we've been through before. Our experience has taught us that people do have a hard time just letting go of their claim, letting go of this problem, and what they're dealing with the toughest negotiators in the world that they don't have a lot of practice against. You'd think that everybody would want a little help. So if that's you and you want a little help, just click the link below and fill out the form. The whole goal of this webinar is to get you made whole after Hurricane Irma, get you a legitimate damage and agreed price on your property, and a good contractor in RRCA, our construction company, to complete the repairs. Now, some commercial property owners, homeowners, board members, managers, association managers, agents, contractors, insurance agents, realtors might also think that you're not going to see any damage, that you don't want to disrupt your relationship with your insurance company, that your insurance company is not going to give you any more money. Maybe that you're not familiar with your rights as a policyholder, or you're not experienced with insurance claims negotiation, or potentially you're not willing to get into an argument with your insurance company. And so to that, I would say we have the team. We are the advocates. We will fast track you to recovery. And it's not just one person, it's not just me, it's not just Mike. See, behind us, we both have a team. He's got engineers, he's got window experts, he's got thermal and moisture and mold remediation specialists. I have roofing crews, siding crews, managers, systems, project managers, all a group behind us to help you get made whole. And we're not selling anything on this webinar, but we do want to interview for your project. We do want to help you be made whole, and we do have a team of people that care about the policyholder's best interests. Now, secret number 3, how to get a reputable contractor to complete your hurricane repairs the right way, up to code, as soon as possible for the amount the insurance company has allowed. Now, that's a triple threat that most people can't solve, and I'm going to help you do it right now. Some people think, I don't know how to find an available contractor to get the work done. Everybody that's worth it, local, is out long term, and my insurance company's giving me such a low amount. I've gotten lots of bids, I just can't get it done. Now, I just want y'all to know, we covered the entire state of Florida. If you're watching this webinar, we cover your territory. So just fill out the form and we'll get somebody out there within a reasonable amount of time. But essentially, I want to answer your questions about my company, RRCA. See, my company is licensed in the state of Florida. It's been in business since 1993. We are an A+ rated company with the Better Business Bureau. But Mike, a guy that's been in South Florida for 15 years, what do you think makes a good contractor?
A good contractor in any business, any good business, is someone that stands behind his work. I always say, on my end, we get the claims bought, but on his end, he actually has to deal with actually doing the work and making sure it's up to par and the way that it is. And anybody that's been in business for as long as he has understands that customer service is the #1 way to continue business like that. And he has to complete those projects to your liking in order to continue, and they've proven that.
Let me tell you a story about a commercial building owner by the name of Steve Uniton. He was a very sharp realtor and property investor, also formerly a lawyer. He got denied by his insurance company, and a partner friend of mine, it was in Daytona, and we worked together and we got awarded. It was a public adjuster, and the problem was that every legitimate contractor wanted more than the insurance company would allow. He actually had got through the adjuster process before I got there, and he had already been approved. Okay, so what had happened was he collected many bids to complete the project. Now this is a big commercial roof. It is literally 900,000 square feet, and due to the size of our commercial installer network and the fact that we're always installing commercial roof systems, we were able to kind of offer an economy to scale value and a 20-year no dollar limit warranty, the combination of which is why he chose us over about 10 different contractors. Now this contract was approaching $600,000 in value, but we were able to knock out a roof of that size in just 30 days. And so what I want you to know is that we can handle your project. If you think that we may not be the right price, let us have a shot at it. We are one of the largest contractors in the state of Florida, and we can extend some incredible value. We get discounts from the supply companies. We have the best installer crew that's been with us at a very free and good rate, and essentially what I want you to know is that we're going to be fair. We're not going to be the most expensive guy. We're not going to be the cheapest guy. We're going to be right in the middle, and we're going to do the job right. Now, luckily, you are protected by the state of Florida. There's mid-roof inspections. There's final inspections. And everybody's going to be watching my work to make sure the work is finished. See, you pay me in full when I'm finished with the job, so you have the power of the state of Florida making sure that I'm doing the work. And that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing because you can choose me to complete your repairs right now without worrying about the quality of work, because it's going to be backed by the state of Florida. There's a lot of different things that I have to carry as a licensed contractor here, but we are roofing in Orlando, in Daytona, in Tampa, in Fort Myers, in Naples, in Miami, in Fort Lauderdale. We have a team of people to give you personal service. So it's about leaving your property like we found it, setting up the protection mechanisms, giving you the right level of communication. And essentially, we have the backing of the largest manufacturers out there. We're Master Shingle Applicators from CertainTeed. We're Master Elite from GAF. We're a Peak Performance Installer for Johns Manville, which is flat roof and TPO. We are one of the most qualified contractors to complete your repairs, and your insurance company has given you an estimate that's based on Xactimate pricing. What's the Xactimate pricing?
Xactimate is a system that is actually created and owned by the insurance industry, and we actually don't even set the pricing. All we do is input the amounts, the scope of work into that, and it kicks out a price for us. And it's just a way that the insurance company basically wants to see the estimates and the claims presented to them. It's a certain language that they prefer.
Nice. So we're going to put our estimates in that language so that we can speak apple to apple. And look, there's a lot of investors out there that I do work that's not insurance, and everybody out there that's spending a lot of money at one time expects a contractor like me to give them an economy to scale price. I'm able to do that on jobs, cash projects. I'm able to do that on your insurance project. We've stood behind every project since 1993, and my father is my business partner, and that has been the most important part of our business. We've got more than 10,000 roofs under warranty currently, and we maintain an A+ rating with the BBB and never had a complaint with the state of Florida. So you can know that you're hiring somebody with a track record of integrity, of success. We care about integrity over profit, impact over income, and we're giving you all the resources to find a legitimate contractor. If your contractor won't give you an Xactimate estimate, if your contractor won't go over the specifications of the work, if your contractor is just trying to get a simple repair, you have to recognize there's two types of contractors. Can you tell them the difference between a regular retail Florida contractor and an insurance contractor?
An insurance contractor is just familiar with what is the way the presentation, what could and should possibly be entitled by you, and they will steer you in the correct direction to get that through. I mean, a lot of people that are damaged after the storm, and a retail contractor comes out and gives them a price for a roof where it's $30,000, they were paid $4,000, and they got to come out the pocket $26,000. Whereas a company like Lee will say, hey, listen, I think you were done wrong. I think we need to reopen this up. And he's able to either get it bought through his company or sending it through my way. And he's offering that additional customer service where basically your roof's getting covered. You're going to have to pay your deductible, but your roof's getting covered. And
it's a simple guarantee. The guarantee is that I'm not going to charge more than what the insurance company allows. And when I go into that deal and you haven't been paid what you're supposed to, sometimes that can be risky, but we complete all projects based on an agreed price from your insurance company. There's a guarantee that your price will not exceed your deductible. And let me go over something with you. If your contractor's offered to cover your deductible, what would you say?
It's actually illegal in the state of Florida. It's unallowed. There's Florida statute against it, and it's just can't be done.
Yeah, so the only way that you can accomplish that is by committing insurance fraud, and I won't be doing that. So some people also think that I don't know how to select a reputable contractor with a fair price. I don't know how to find anybody that's available. I don't know how to let somebody complete my roof who's not from my hometown. I don't know how to find a contractor that can start within a reasonable time. Or I don't know how to select the right roofing material. One of the biggest things right now is tile. If you got a tile roof, should you go back with tile? When you see all the metal roofs out there that aren't damaged, a hurricane-proof roof may save you money on your insurance every single year, which is very costly. And potentially a lot of people that I see getting metal roofs are not even getting wind insurance. But essentially, maybe you've already hired a contractor and you can't get a return phone call. Maybe you can't get him to come out there. Maybe he wouldn't give you an estimate. Maybe he's just kind of holding you out. I'm going to teach you in this little section how to hold that contractor accountable to his promises. The truth is that we own a licensed company here with the largest workforce across the state of Florida, capable of efficiently rebuilding your home. The most important thing that we build at our company is 100% customer satisfaction. Our work is guaranteed to not cost any more than what the insurance company allows, and we stand behind our projects with the best warranty in the business. So, let me ask you a question. We've covered how to avoid missing out on hurricane damage to your property, mainly your roof, that could cost you thousands in unnecessary out-of-pocket expense. We've covered how to get fair claim settlement if your insurance claim is denied or underpaid. And we've covered how to get a reputable contractor to complete your hurricane repairs the right way as soon as possible for the amount the insurance company has allowed for your damage. So who wants to take things to the next level? Protect your property, invest the future of the insurance claim benefits into your property. Who wants to take this? I'm going to give you even more value. This is about value. This is about helping you. And I want to put everything that we've talked about today in a PDF file for you. This is the Florida Property Owners Hurricane Survival Guide. This is going to help you discover hidden damage. It's going to show you what wind chatter looks like on a tile roof, what window damage that could be overlooked, or stucco or paint damage. It's going to help you give the steps to overcome an underpaid or denied insurance claim, when to hire a public adjuster, what and how to hire a public adjuster, how to hire a contractor, where to find a good contractor. These are the things that you need to know about. Also, the detail that we went into in appraisal versus litigation and some of the different things that we've talked about has been very in-depth and technical. And if you want to wrap your mind around it and kind of get into the text, we want you to be able to download this. So essentially, here's what you get in this Hurricane Survival Guide: how to evaluate your own damage, how to get a fair roofing estimate, how to select the right contractor, the hidden cost of hurricanes, frequently asked questions about the recovery process, what is a public adjuster, how to select a public adjuster, and getting the right hurricane coverage on your insurance. So here's just we've talked about some of my case studies. Grant Cardone, best-selling author. Rusty Fleming is a president of a company that manages 100,000 apartment units across the United States, American Apartment Management Company, and we've completed over 8 apartment complexes for them and looked at more than 30 apartment losses since the hurricane. I also work with some of the largest general contractors. A good friend of mine, Edwin Peck, he was the major developer of Daytona Beach, and he worked on one of the largest claims from Hurricane Matthew, the Peck Plaza, and I worked as a disaster consultant helping him with Xactimate, and I did such a good job that he put me on a lot of work. So we work with general contractors. We work with large real estate investment trusts. We work with large Multi-million-dollar investors. Grant Cardone has 7,000 units as an individual across the United States. These are some of our case studies. Who are some of the people that you've worked with?
I've helped out numerous condo associations, homeowner associations, numerous individuals that had large insurance complexes. I've helped out celebrities. I've helped out thousands of people.
We got you covered. The point is that we have good references. We got you covered, and we want you to feel safe with handing over your claim to let us make you whole. Because essentially, that's what we're after. We want to help make you whole after the storm. This works for all homeowners, commercial, residential, property managers, condo board members, homeowners associations, insurance agents, realtors. Get fair claim settlement, expedite their disaster recovery process, and pick a good contractor. You know, here's some reasons why people don't get started, because you may think that you don't have damage. You may think your insurance company's been fair to you. You may think that because you've already selected a contractor that this doesn't apply to you. But here's why that's a mistake. You're not a hurricane expert that has completed a thorough investigation of your property. We've done this time and time again for years and years and years. Both of us have close to 20 years experience in the industry, and we see egregious mistakes made by property managers, owners, and other contractors that think they know. And just because that you promised the contractor the job but you hadn't heard from him, that doesn't mean that you can't talk to another contractor to find out if there's some better value somewhere else. I tell people that I don't mind giving them a free estimate, because even if they don't choose me, they're going to get a better deal out of their contractor. So, you also get for free online access to our disaster management tool, Claim Express. This is my dad's software, a web app to connect the industry. The property owners get a login, the contractors get a login, and the adjusters get a login. And you're going to be given, sort of like a Domino's pizza, an update to your claim status and where you're at. You're going to be able to look and access your pictures and keep an online file of your property. With these tools, you'll be able to expedite your damage investigation. It'll help you get a forensic Xactimate for repairs. It will help a public adjuster complete a policy review. That's the only way we can determine if that deductible has been given you correct. If you have ordinance and law coverage, if you have replacement cost value, you can get an engineer's report that works for the insureds. You can get fair claim settlement fast tracked. You can get your roofing project completed and your restoration project completed. With these tools, you can get rid of missing out on hidden damages, wrongly underpaid or denied insurance claims, missing out on thousands if not millions of dollars that you could add to your property, not being able to get a public adjuster, not being able to get a contractor, or getting overcharged for repairs. There's also a lot of out-of-state guys that are risky contractors not qualified to do the work. So please, take action now, fill out the form, get a free inspection from the professionals. We want to help you expedite the disaster recovery process and manage a mass volume of claims and restoration projects. If you miss out on damages, it could cost you a fortune in the future. You could accept an underpaid or denied insurance claim and lose to your insurance company. Hiring the wrong public adjuster can be a complete ripoff. Do you agree? Tell them about that.
I've come behind actually public adjusters after they've been released a contract, because I do not interfere with contracts, but I've come behind them and clean up their files that they have done for the insured at that point, and I've reopened them and I've done very, very well for them on that behalf. There's a lot of guys out there that are not really familiar with construction, not familiar with what happens in an event like this, and some of them just don't have the experience or the capability to get into a lot of these larger claims.
Yep, hiring the wrong contractor can be just as miserable. They can take your money, they can run off, they can not do a good job, the roof can leak, they can not have the right insurance, they can get shut down by OSHA, the state of Florida, it could drag on forever, they could not call you back. It could literally be one of the most hellish experience of your life, and we do not want that to happen to you. We care about people's sanity, we care about making this disaster recovery process painless and easy and as fast as possible. Paying too much for your contractor, it can cost you big time. Experts with hundreds of years of experience into the disaster marketplace share your tips. We share tips so that you don't have to become a catastrophe of the storm. You might be thinking that your property is fine, that you already know a contractor, or you think you've been given a fair claim estimate. Here's why that's not true and will hold you back from success. Until you educate yourself by the leading experts, you don't know what you don't know. It's a free inspection. It's free for us to come evaluate your property, your policy, to deliver a free damage estimate. So what's it going to hurt for you to fill out the application on the form below? So we talked about what you're going to get, but essentially we're going to review the policy, and not we, Mike. So when you review a policy, what do you look for?
We're looking for specific coverages, endorsements. We're looking at the deductibles, how the deductibles are applied, the language in the replacement cost value, how much the time frame is on the for you to receive those benefits, when a proof of loss is required by statute to be filed within a certain time frame, if it has the appraisal provision in that, if it has alternative dispute resolution other than that in there.
A lot of technical stuff, okay? We had to go through 20,000 claims and thousands of policies to get the perfect policy review system, but you won't have to, because you get a free policy review with Mike, and he's a licensed public adjuster. This is going to make it faster and easier for you to get any questions you have answered immediately with a licensed public adjuster. How? Because it gives you a licensed third party dedicated to swift settlement of your insurance claim. You might be thinking you already have a contractor, or maybe you've been given a fair claim assessment from your insurance company. Here's why that's not true and will hold you back from success. If you do not get your policy reviewed by a public adjuster, you may get underpaid or denied, or end up with a lot of unnecessary out-of-pocket expense, even if you already have your contractor selected. You really need to get your policy reviewed by a professional. Mike is available to do that for you. So typically, that costs 10% of your claim. Mike's going to do that for you for free if you just fill out the form below. Like I said, you're going to get the Florida Property Owners Hurricane Survival Guide. You're going to get online access to ClaimExpress.com, where we manage your claim. You're going to get a policy review by a licensed public adjuster, but you're also going to get a free digital analysis damage evaluation from both of us here. We're over $100 million in claims, over $20 million experience. My skill set as a forensic damage investigator, his skill set as a policy reader, as an expert in insurance, combined means that we protect your property. We find all hidden damages. And in this inspection, you're going to understand if hidden damages exist, if you've been wrongly denied or underpaid, and it's going to help you select a legitimate contractor. We're going to be able to answer any questions. You can interview us to see if you want us to complete the repairs. When we deliver this report, it's going to come with photos, wind reports. It's going to come with the satellite roof measurements, some hard facts that you can use in your claim, even if you do not select us as your contractor or public adjuster. If someone has already inspected your property and you don't think that this is for you, we find that the majority of claims have damages that are overlooked. I'm happy to come behind a contractor that said your roof was fine. He's happy to take a look at a deal that a public adjuster has walked away from. Why? Why? Because a lot of people don't go into the detail that we do. Some people are just only looking for the easy, low-hanging fruit. That's not what we're about. We're about truly helping individuals, and it requires that a trained disaster consultant with our mentality comes out there to determine your damage. That's what you get as a free digital analysis. On your free digital analysis, what do you like to focus on your damage evaluation?
I like to show people what they don't see from the ground, what's going on with the roof systems. I like to do the investigation on the manufacturer original installation on the windows, glazing systems, building envelope, and then explain to them how that applies to the insurance policy and how to enforce the insurance company to make those payments for you.
See, I'm going to be focusing on your most expensive item there, probably your roof first. We're going to be doing uplift tests. We're going to determine material. We're going to pull out the manufacturer specifications, discuss repairability. We're going to do what's called a test square. A test square is where you do a 10 by 10 area on each elevation of your roof, and we document with photos if there's wind uplift, flying debris damage, any type of moisture intrusions, and we document this so that we can help Mike get coverage from your insurance company. So you are going to get not just a survival guide, not just access to Claim Express, not just your policy reviewed, but a free damage evaluation on site. Now, this is worth thousands of dollars, but we're providing it to you for free. So fill out the form. If you'd like, you're also going to get more value from us. We're actually going to give you a report. This report, of course, is going to, after writing thousands of reports and inspections, we've been trained in the art of documenting all this damage. The digital damage report is key. When you do a report, what are the most important pieces of paper that go into that, and how big are your reports?
I've done reports on commercial files that are 10 4-inch 3-ring binders. A lot of it is painting the picture to somebody that is not familiar with the claims
we're giving
process.
a preliminary damage report.
Photographs. Photographs is key. Showing what you're not able to see from the ground, showing what you're just missing, whether it be the tile lifted, the tile broken, where you just overlooked it, you weren't able to see it, whether it be a window seal dislodged, whether it be mold in the drywall. We're able to do that. We'll get up in the attics, we'll check the nails if they bent, we'll check the screws if they pulled out. We do all of that, and we'll get you those photographs showing you how the story is and how we're able to help you, and then you take that information and you decide what you want to do with it.
Hey, if you don't think this is going to help you because someone's already inspected your property, maybe you have a contractor, potentially you already have a report, but I can guarantee your report that you have is nothing like what we're going to provide to you. Our reports are the most thorough in the industry, and we are the experts. We're the advocate for the policyholders. We have the ways to actually document this the correct way. This is worth thousands of dollars. We're providing it to you for free of charge. Again, just fill out that form. It's going to have some information about your address, your name, your cell phone number. We're going to contact you. Just fill out the form and we'll get with you as quick as possible. You're going to get the Hurricane Survival Guide, access to Claim Express, a policy review, damage evaluation, and a damage report. If all it did, was help you, show you exactly what fair claim settlement would look like, would it be worth a little bit of your time? If all this system did is get you a new roof for the price of your deductible, would it be worth a little bit of your time? If all this did was avoid you future out-of-pocket expense to your roof, if you're a commercial building owner and association, this could be millions of dollars. Would this be worth a little bit of your time? If all we did was eliminate all possibility of hidden hurricane damages that cause problems, would it be worth a little bit of your time? All right? Look, I had two choices here. I wanted to really invest in the community in the state of Florida and to impact people with this webinar in a way in which nobody in our industry has ever done. And so instead of charging for these services, I've made them free. I want to get to your property as quick as possible and help make you whole. And so I know it seems too good to be true, but we are licensed, insured, vetted with references. Please fill out the form so that you can verify and check us out because we can be the solution to help you. What would it be worth to you if you were able to discover the hidden hurricane damages? What would it be worth to you if you're sitting on zero? The one you were talking about was 2.6 million. He's got from 0 to 2.6 million. So what would it be worth to you to take your claim from 0 to 2.6 million to overcome underpaid or denied insurance claim? Those customers are going to pay how much for 2.6 million?
They're going to pay their deductible, and they're going to have to pay for my services as well.
How much do your services cost?
10%.
Great. All work that we do together, I am able to get accomplished, and it's not going to cost you any more than your deductible. So the main thing that you need to worry about is your deductible, and that's it. So would it be worth it to you if you could find a reputable contractor that could restore your property for the amount the insurance company? Would it be worth to you if we did an inspection, all it did was give you a fair claim settlement and a good value on the biggest ticket item, your roof? All right? Of course it would. We're going to do the digital analysis. The digital analysis is the full inspection, the full report, the full access to claimexpress.com. Today, this is free, and we want you to take action right now. Right below on the form, there is a simple button. Click it, fill out the form. We'll get out there within 24 hours. You've got two choices. You've watched this entire webinar. You can either go back to your day with your hidden damages or underpaid or denied insurance claim, or potentially a contractor that's not returning your phone call. You can decide to take action, which will give you a chance to make a change, or you can do nothing, which will literally give you no chance to solve your problem. So please just fill out the form. We have a guarantee. If this does not help you, literally it's a free service. We will pay you $250 cash. If this does not help you, I will pull the money out of my pocket because This is going to help you overcome an underpaid or denied insurance claim. This is going to help you hire a reputable contractor. This is going to help you, even if you already have a contractor, get a better deal. My main thing is for you to get service, education, and for everybody out there that doesn't have a good contractor, our RCA is the right guy. For every person that doesn't have a public adjuster, Group 1 Public Adjusting and Mike Bana is your guy. So the real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out, to have us come to your property, to evaluate your policy, to look at your damage? Even if it only does half of what I've claimed today, it will pay for itself immediately. Okay, and if that wasn't amazing enough already, I've got something else for you. It's a bonus. Okay, what's that? A free drone inspection. When you go to sell your property, these drone images are very valuable. They can be valuable just to hang in your home. And so we have an FAA trained drone division, and they can go with a very expensive drone, thousands of dollars. It's got thermal camera to detect moisture. It can do 3D mapping of your property. And literally, we're gonna do a free drone inspection, document all damage, and we're going to provide you drone photos of your property included in this inspection. So just fill out the form. Like I said, you're going to get the free Florida Property Owners Hurricane Survival Guide, access to Claim Express, a free policy review, a damage evaluation, a digital damage report, and drone inspection with photos for free. What's it gonna hurt? Take a look. The name of my company, Roofing and Reconstruction Contractors of America, can be vetted at www.roofingprofessionals.com. There's a lot of references that we've provided on this page. Mike also has some references that we've provided on this page if you're unsure. This is a free inspection. There's going to be a lot of time to vet us before you select us to complete your repairs or your public adjusting. Essentially, this is the first step in the process, and we need you to take action today. You can get started. It's a free inspection. Fill out the form. Very simply, what we're going to do is get out there within 24 hours. Mike, give them the biggest thing that you can help them with that nobody else can. Fast, easy service.
Exactly. Come out to the property, look at your policy review. In addition to all of what Lee offered as well, also a free claim analysis. Let me look at that Xactimate report given by your insurance company. That is like a second language to me. I'm very familiar with it, and I can tell a lot of times just by looking at it the deficiencies in it without even completing the full inspection report.
So I'm going to give you a fair price for all work completed. We're going to deliver that up front and at a very competitive value. My company is licensed in the state of Florida. We are completely credible with references. When we want to give you an estimate, we want to interview for your project. We want to be your contractors for life. Thank you for spending an hour of your time. This has been about helping you recover from a hurricane. 2018 may be in store for even more hurricanes, but by dealing with us, you'll be prepared. So please fill out the form, check us out. We look forward to helping you on your property. Thank you very much.